Hey everyone, welcome to the Men-tality Series where real men share their stories. And here today we're going to talk about mental health awareness and community and why is it important for men to embrace mental health and promote it more in our community. Um, my name is Ebony Tate, creator of Mastering Me brand, which is a mental health brand that I built from the ground up in my women's community, Sis Suffering in Silence. Please follow me on IG for both platforms. The first one is at Mastering Me Brand, and the next one is for the women, SIS_royalty. So please follow the Queendom today. Today's special guest is a music artist, a father, a production manager, sound engineer, community and mental health advocate, and a creative. Please give it up for Mr. Samontae Sims. Hey, Samontae. How are you? Good. That's good. Thank you for thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for coming on the show and being here with us. So please let the people know where they can follow you and share the music.
My music is on all platforms, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, anything you name it. You just type in Samontae Sims. And to find me on all social media, you type in Samontae the Mini Roots. That's Samontae, the Mini Roots.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And I will tag him on this video. So make sure you follow him and support his music. He has great music and he has a great message to share with the world. So please support. All right. My first question for you is what inspired you to pursue the path of an independent music artist?
Well, it really started when I was younger. As I explained to you before, I used to be a DJ, and music was just always just an outlet to express myself. So once I learned about poetry too, and that was introduced me, I say about like 15. I knew about poetry already when I was younger. I just didn't know the style of it. So once I learned around 16, it was like, okay, I can do this, but I never really thought about rapping. Rapping really started coming around age of 18. And that was more so I just really got tired of people like when you're younger, people I go to therapy. So people put you into therapists that you may not agree with when you're younger, because you will probably have a lot less to say and a lot less of control of what goes on into your medical well-being. So music was more of that outlet for me to go into that field of saying, all right, this is me expressing myself. This is what I gotta say, and this is how I want to say it. But I'm also gonna have fun with it too.
That's good. I can definitely understand that. And it's good that you can go to therapy. I think it's very important for men and women to seek therapy if you need the help. It's very important. We can rely on so many things, but listening to another person's perspective who's biased, that don't really know you that well, but they can understand the situation for what it is and they can see it, without being biased.
Yeah.
So that's really good that you take on that. As you reflect on your journey as both a man and father, what season of your life are you currently in?
Um, the season of understanding and patience. A lot from basically when I was younger, as you can imagine, I grew up without a father. And then my father also had children on his side. So on my mother's side, I was the only child. So with that, it just really was understanding of patience for me. Because I really didn't understand a lot and I was very impatient when I was younger. Of course, I'm 30 now. 30 now. So when I was younger, I was still like didn't understand the meaning of patience and why everybody just kept saying, wait, take your time, do what you gotta do today so you can achieve one tomorrow. And I was a real big like person who just pushed against that. Like I didn't want to do shit. Well, excuse my language. I didn't want to do anything. I don't mean to cuss.
Oh, that's okay. No, patience is a true virtue. Like, I think that's one of the things it's one of my strengths. Like it has cut. It got a little shorter as I got older, but when I was younger, I had all the patience in the world. Mentally in my head, I'd be going crazy, but
So it's crazy. It's crazy when to think about it when you're younger, like how like we're opposites. So you know how they say opposites attract. It's crazy to think about it when you're younger. That's like you would have a lot more patience for everybody because it's like, all right, you may have a little more understanding when you're younger. You may have a little empathy. But as you get older, you might start saying, you know what, I'm tired of having empathy for everybody. I want something for myself. Let me start moving on for myself. And for me, it was the total opposite. It was just like, all right, I want it now. I get it. I get it. I get it. I want it now, but I wasn't going to get it.
I, I could definitely say no. But some kids, they like when they're younger, they want stuff when they want it.
Exactly.
And sometimes you got to learn in life you can't always get what you want, or you won't get it like right then and there. Like sometimes it really takes time for you to get to a certain goal or certain level, certain stage. So it just um my next question is, oh, well, you are an amazing father of two. Happy Daddy Day. My next question is, what values, life lessons, or principles are most important for you to instill in your children, and why do those lessons matter to you?
Honesty, integrity, set values.
Uh, Life lessons or principles for
Okay.
you?
It's going to be all three.
Oh,
Like I said, honesty, integrity, and compassion. Integrity would be in principle. Basically, you saying like, this is who I am. This is how I'm standing. Yeah, take me as I am, but I'm willing to learn too. A person who isn't willing to learn isn't willing to grow. So you can never grow, but you still have to stand strong on who you are about what you're learning about. The integrity, I mean, I said integrity. Honesty would be in the life lessons. One thing I've learned about, like I've explained to you before, I've never really wanted children. I was a man who always actually kept it honest when it came to that. And what I've learned is that one thing, life is always going to tell the truth. Even if you try to sit back and hide, say like if I was the father to have my children and my children's mother was strong, it would be wrong of me to lie to my children and be like, oh yeah, their mothers just went off to go do some work far, far off. And they'll be back soon. And not knowing the actual truth and reality of their own reality. So with that, I've learned keeping an honest heart too will actually help you go further in life than just sitting back saying, you know what, this yes, I may not feel this is right, but in reality, what does my feelings have what does my feelings are valid, but what does my feelings have to do with the actual facts of reality? So that's what honesty. And the last one I said was honesty, integrity, compassion. And compassion, I said, life lesson for principles. Compassion would be for principles. I don't care who you are. If you eat, people say respect the janitor. Yeah, respect the janitor, but also respect the trash man, respect the sewage man. Mind, we live as people know we're together. So we are also close by blue plates. So we smell that shit every every day. But imagine those workers who go there every day and then have to go home to their wives and go home to their children and then smell like, and their house probably smells like. But they get up every day to basically say, you can flush your toilet. You can, you can make this happen. That compassion will take you so far, it almost becomes currency because people start to remember the help you are willing to put out just because of who you are, because you're that professional. That would make them professional to any.
Yeah, so stay 10 toes, be who you are, be authentically you. Honesty is always the best policy when it comes to any situation. And there's a way to deliver bad news, or it's a way to deliver certain news to, children. So that's definitely true words to live by. Okay. Uh, my next question for you is, what aspects or moments of fatherhood bring you the greatest joy?
People won't recognize it as a moment, but I do. Giving my children, and every time I get them, seeing them grow up. At first, I didn't realize what it really meant for when people said the joys of parenthood. And the joys of parenthood is the pride that you're able to take, that you're saying you're taking care of this child, and this child is actually alive and healthy. Healthy. Now, also, even people that has children with disabilities, they still have to take credit because that's a moment in life that you wake up every day. Your eyes wake up and you see that child, and you know that child is still alive. That is a moment of accomplishment because Quinn, my daughter, her name is Quinlan. She was born May 31st, and she was actually supposed to be August 21st. I don't think her mother thinks I remember that, but I did. But yeah, she was born prematurely, and she fit into the palm of my hand. And that moment was crazy to me, and it hit me, and it said, "I want my child because she is fighting truly, and I can respect that." And I want that for even myself. And when I see that in a little person who's not even thinking about A, B, C, or G right now, and just thinking about taking the next breath, I that motivates me to take a moment and say, you know what, nah, I gotta. That inspires me. So every moment that I get my children, I see them grow an inch is an inspiration. Is a great moment. That and it's something else. Now, if I had them every day, like I was the everyday daddy, it would still be a way better moment because then it's like it just hit me like, damn, you was just 3 months ago, you was just like not even sitting on the toilet. Now you're sitting on the toilet. Like, whoa, whoa. It's just moments in life people don't pay attention. Everybody thinks about moments as like time. It's literally like a blink of
Yeah. It's those small moments that you see in kids, or even like the way they walk, or if they sound like you, or their mannerisms, and or they'll do something that you would have did, like like it's like a whole reflection of you from any time period of your life. It could have been childhood or even adulthood now. Like they might emulate. So that's a good thing to see and be mindful of and pay attention, or even how they interact with other people too. Like, yeah,
exactly.
it definitely could catch you off guard.
Way off guard.
um, with everything you have going on, what do you do in your free time for self care?
With everything I've got going on, so I spend time with
Yes.
yes, I spend time with and you're in the other room, I'm on the couch and I'm just scrolling on. When I even for my business life, I would still say my music is still something that is still part of my self-care. Even if I'm feeling frustrated, if I'm feeling down, depressed, I look at my music and say, all right, let me go ahead and try to make it. Let me go ahead and try to record this song that I wrote 3 months ago, and try to even if it's like a verse separate from another song that I wrote, I would try to pair that two together and see if it works. I would try to get creative. Apart from that, uh, you've been going with me, going to the gun range. We're going to go fishing soon. That's what I used to do a lot to really decompress. I like to cook. Of course, take care of my kids. Uh, but really, I would say my times of where it gets really overwhelming and it starts to feel too like my life is too much. I guess that's where you start to see me clean house. That's where you start to see me clean the house because I have a philosophy that the way like it's not even my own philosophy, but I adopted this philosophy too. I forgot where I heard it. I wish I could credit the person who gave it to me. But they said this. They said, take a look at your room. Take a look at your bathroom. Take a look at the clothes. Take a look at your drawers. The last time you washed clothes. Every piece of that is going, every piece of that surrounding that is yours is a piece of you that is inside of your brain. And that is what your brain looks like.
That's true. Like I can tell when my mind is like so scattered everywhere, and then your house just looks like everything is everywhere. But what's crazy is I know where everything is.
Right. Right.
That would be everywhere.
And you see how that can still correlate. Like even within that chaos, you like, I still know where everything is. I know I know this, I know that pen is in the lead pen pile. I know the sock is in the t-shirt pile. Well, in reality, yeah, the sock is in the t-shirt pile, but you know, if that one sock is in the t-shirt pile and that matching sock is in the sock pile, we actually need to put that matching sock into the sock pile so we can move on in a progressive fashion. When our mind when our mind has that one sock into the t-shirt pile, that's how we start to feel stuck and stagnant. Because it's like, well, I can't get anywhere because this one sock is in the t-shirt pile, and I don't know where the matching sock is, but you do know where the matching sock is because it's in the sock pile. But you just like, you know what? I don't feel like going to the sock pile because I'm worried about the t-shirt pile right now, and the t-shirt pile has a sock in it, and it's like, all right, man, just take the sock out of the t-shirt pile and just go put the sock, and now let's worry about the t-shirt pile. Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's the organized one. I'm a little discombobulated. But it's okay. I know they say cleanliness is next to godliness, and I'm glad he helped me get it together.
And I'll be the first to believe too that God has some messy tendencies too. Let's look at them. But again, that's where we are part of that mind. We also have to collectivize into that mind.
Yeah, but I also think that God, it's for good reason.
Yeah.
It all leads to something better. You just have to believe in that and just go with the course of life. Because life's gonna do what it's gonna do. God gonna do what He gonna do. The universe gonna do what they gonna do. Whoever you believe in, they gonna do what they do.
Can't learn any lessons if there's no lessons to be learned.
Absolutely. Um, from your perspective, how important is community and mental health awareness for men?
That goes it goes deep. It's the question is how deep do you want to go with it because
And on how you
right, depending on which way you want to go.
You can go however you want to go.
Depending on which way
this is the interview of Samontae Sims.
I know, but I still want to make sure that we are still keeping it cordial amongst your crowds because I can go very unorthodox. But I would say this how far unorthodox I would go for that question. Look at the churches. Look at the churches. That is my first example into that question. When we go into a church, what do we predominantly see? Predominantly, yeah, we do see men. We see men. I want everybody to please understand. I am not saying we don't see men. I am not saying. I am my black community. I am literally asking a serious question that you can go take a tally for yourself. Take a pen and piece of paper and literally write black, really like men and women on it. And do a tally. You will see what I'm talking about. The community of men right now is in a lost and found, if that's making sense. If you know how when you go to like say you go to a music park and they got a lost and found, you lost your purse. Somebody found it, took it to the kiosk, and they placed it there. Within men, somebody found we were lost before somebody found where we needed to go. Then we stayed in the lost and found. This what I'm saying to this question is basically let's put us into a box right now. Yes, I'm putting us in into a box. We're in the lost and found. Where we were lost for, we were lost is where right after black men, and I'm speaking to black men. Men can also relate to this in general, but black men in America, I really speak to. Where we can take this and start looking at it is the show that I started showing you, the Godfather of Harlem. There is many entities in that show. You have the drug dealer, black revolutionary, and the black politician. All three of those are entities of a balanced scale. And one of those people are literally the person who's holding up that scale. And that is a black politician. And they can tip that scale any way they want to. And with that problem is we are not finding enough men into leaderships with integrity. When we allow men into leaderships without integrity, they start to infiltrate places of communities that, as even a black community, we used to host. And going back to the black church, there's a point to my madness. But going back to the black church, that used to be a pinnacle for even men. That used to be a pinnacle for men to go to in the community. Really think about it. As a black man, you went to the church and you was able to sit there with your family and then congregate with everybody else and then also go talk to the pastor, seek guidance, and seek healing through what we were all going through. That is totally lost out of our church. And that's why I say if you go now and look into the black church, you will see more women than because the message is not healing a black man whatsoever. It's not encouraging a black man whatsoever. The message in general, and we're not even gonna put a gender on what I'm about to say right now. In general, is saying you need to put your faith in one entity and don't worry about anybody else. Your sins is forgiven. This and that. And that's so much more I can talk about that, but the underlying tone is that is you can pray all you want, but prayer without action will never be answered.
Yeah, prayer without works is dead.
Prayer without and to basically go into that, what we're missing as a black man community is that we're praying so much. Each individual black man is praying so much in silence to speak out, and we're looking for the words to speak out coherently without even and stay on subject without even getting emotional about it. But we can't keep praying on it if we're not practicing it amongst ourselves. When it comes to hard conversation, hard conversation, as men, we do need to start using our logical essence in it. Literally, we need to start putting in realistic scenarios that we are talking. Because yes, yes, it may feel like it's divided because I am a man, you are a woman. If anything, we don't have to get so uh I don't know the word sensual about it. I guess that's the word I can use. But I can just use this term. You have an any, I have an out. So that's what makes us different. But if you look onto a biology book, they almost look like the same because, like I said, you got an any, I have an outie. You have an inside, I have an outside. So when it really comes down to that, it's just as men, we really need to start recognizing we are different. as much as we are the same to our women, as much as we are the same to our women, because our women are equal to us. The only equality, the only unequal part that we have is that we can't carry a baby for 9 months. So with that we are we are able to keep our strength throughout our lifetime, and yes, it diminishes with our age, but we have to recognize that with that strength, we have to keep learning to control it. It's so much I can to this conversation.
Yeah, but I honestly feel like men's communities are like it's necessary.
It's very necessary.
I feel like, especially with our community, I feel it's best for us to create our own way of bringing people together, bringing brotherhood, bringing sisterhood, womanhood, kidhood. You know, what I mean? Like I think it's our job to do that to keep us together. And I know with men and women, like we communicate differently as well. So I think it's better for men to come together amongst themselves and create community and create the brotherhood, create that sacredcy that women create for ourselves. But it's just, you know, men communicate differently, and it's different.
And that's a because I know we got to keep going, but to even now that you put you what I feel like you articulated what I was trying to say more with that when I was saying men need to start being more logical in their essence, and like speaking logically, yes, yes, we as men need to come together, start speaking that logic, start speaking our truth, and we need to write it down. We will write it all down, and as a collective, as men, come to our women and say, "This is what we've been talking."
Just to come to that, deeper understanding, how we can understand each other better.
Let them process. Just let them, because that's all. That's all we can do for them is let them process it and then come back to us with the process.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I totally agree. How can men better show up for one another and build stronger communities?
One thing I admire you women about, one thing I admire when you guys make plans, you guys act on those plans.
We stick to them.
You stick to it.
Yeah.
I am guilty of not sticking to a plan. Even if I planned it. That's one thing I feel as though men need to start coming together. We need to, if yeah, we were doing good at one point of getting that passport, saying, "Hey, bro, let's go to the Bahamas, let's go here," but then we started losing. I don't know what happened, but if it's too expensive, it's other things we can do. I find myself going to the gun range, and I have homies who go to the gun range, who been going to the gun. And what we've all been trying to do is, but they have kids too, and they live with their kids. So for me, of course, for me, it's harder for me to get with them because they live with their kids and they always got their babies. So I understand. I get my kids, I get my kids. I don't have the kids of mine. So with that, we need to start really sticking to our plan and actually owning to that. Like, hey, bro, we don't have to go to the Bahamas. Let's go to this pool hall still out here. It's pool hall still out here. Go bowling, shoot. I still skateboard.
Yeah.
Do things. Just do random things. Shoot. Even it's I would say it is nothing gay. And excuse me, my LGBT because I was also raised by them, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I am an equalist person, so I really don't have any quarrels with anybody, and I really don't have any bias, and I really don't care. I'm an equalist person, but it's not gay, it's not feminine, it's not nothing. If four bros literally get a blanket and say, you know what, man, let's go watch some airplanes land. I'll bring some steaks. We bring this, or we bring some bucks, or we whatever can entertain you guys on that outing that you may feel is a little bit feminine.
Yeah, and I think it's a form of self care too. Like I get it, and it's okay for men to do it too. Like Like guys can go to the barber shop. I know some men that get pedicures, manicures. They groom themselves. Like
Yeah.
I know people that like to wear certain things a certain way, so they'll get nice tailored 3-piece suits. Like I know people that are like this, and they're comfortable, and they're straight men, or they embrace who they are. They embrace their authenticity, embrace who they are, and just keep it moving. And I think it's just a communication piece too, because society want to make it seem like, oh, men shouldn't speak out about anything. They should keep their mouth shut. They should just get with the program. And no, no, it shouldn't be like that.
It's very sad. It's very sad because when you start to think of men activities, it's so limited. You got camp, and I can literally name the stuff right now, and I guarantee you, people will agree with camping, fishing, shooting, hunt, shooting, hunting, camping, fishing, shooting, hunting, beers, just sitting in a parking lot, like just just fixing a car
Or playing video games.
or playing video games.
Yeah.
Dudes, yes, keep doing that. I do it. I love it. I love it. But I get it. It gets mundane. If I'm using that word wrong, I've been using that word lately. But if it gets too mundane, yeah, tell some homies, hey, yo, you want to go try a winery? Definitely, if you like to drink, beer, go to a winery.
Yeah, or festivals. Festivals have them. Concerts have them.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. You don't need to take your girl to a festival. It's nice. But you want some homies to go to a festival,
Yeah.
hear some good music, hear some jazz country music. I don't care. Shoot, even if it's in K-pop, that's what y'all like to do it. And don't let nobody judge you for it. Don't.
Even if they do, I mean, the world they're gonna judge you.
And
do it anyway.
Yeah, if they do embrace the judgment, actually feed into it. If they be like, "Oh, that's gay," be like, "Oh, well, at least I know the gay folks got my back."
Hey, and gay me happy.
Yeah, so, really.
Yeah.
It's just do what please you, fellas. Do get out there with your homies and live your best life. What I've been saying is I'm black, and what I've been saying is I plan on doing white people shit. Excuse my language again, but I plan on doing white people stuff. Like they be having fun.
They have fun without a care in the world, and they just feel free. Hey, that's fine.
You say black people don't go skydiving, I'm going.
Oh, I'm not. I'll be watching him from the sky, but yeah, I'll support him from the ground. Yeah. What messages you want to share with the world through your music?
I am. I'm still learning what I want to say to the world because my music isn't something right now that I want to say. My music is something that I I don't even call myself an empath, but I do say I can feel other people's emotions.
Okay.
I don't like that word because everybody's always like something.
We don't have to label it. I mean, you're a caring, loving person.
I can feel other people's emotions. And for me, when I feel other people's emotions, I'm it blinds out my own emotions. And I'm by me going to therapy now and me taking hold of my own therapy sessions and having control of my own, I actually been learning myself and discovering my own emotions. It's like me right now, I'm just now discovering myself. And that puts me on edge a lot because I don't want people to think that what they're seeing on the inside is something that is being intentioned on the outside of this time. For my music right now, it's an expression of what's going on. And literally, my music is a relation to sons who grew up without a father, who grew up in a household full of women, who all, I'll even go deeper, sons who grew up with their mothers or their mothers or grandmothers end up turning out to like women. That's a lot. If a man sits there and be like, "Well, I'm okay with it," he's okay with it, but at one point he was still a little bit shocked or taken off his feet about it, and he probably didn't get over it. But you will get over it eventually. But my music is for those, for those men who's growing up trying to, who's growing up like me. When you grew up like me, you grew up, like I said, feeling other people's emotions, not learning. And that is hard to navigate around the world. When you're learning the world and learning about the goodness of the world, that I want to state first, the atrocities of the world, and the neutrals of the world. When you're learning about those things, my music, my music, I want people to learn from what I'm trying to say and I'm trying to articulate because I'm trying to paint a picture of what these eyes see because I'm just literally this soul in this human body, this vessel that is watching a movie that that is being written and that is already written. And I have no idea what's going in this script. And I just want to be able to even commentate on what I see and express the emotions that I see. Just like a commentator just like a critic watching a movie. I want to be that person. I would love to really give you a solid answer on what I really want to tell people about my message to my music, but to the people that is following me right now, to the future listeners, I have no idea what my message is. Right now, I can tell guys like my music, guys. As long as you guys are liking my music and you guys are telling me it's a good job, I'm going to keep making.
And it's still being written.
It's still being written, yeah. But for the message, if you would like for me to give, and I know you're not really forcing me or you're not putting it on me, but I'm just saying if you would like for me to give it to you for your listeners, the message: be compassionate to one another. Be compassionate to women, and I don't want people to think I'm hating. If anything, this, and I know this might sound weird, this might put some people off, but really, please listen to what I'm saying before you react. This person that is about to speak on what I'm saying about women for his music and his message, this is a little boy who now feels safe with the man he has created today speaking. And with that, my music is that man articulating what I'm trying to say in a voice that can be understood without anger, without anybody trying to call him an angry black man, that can also be understood with compassion and softness, but still firmness, but understood with understood frustration. And I will want women to basically hear that when you raise your sons look up to you in a way that their fathers should be looking to. Your sons should be look your sons look up to you in a way that your fathers should be up to. And that puts a lot of pressure onto you. That shit, that is not nature. That is not nature. And when that pressure is put onto you, you will have many different outcomes. And for me, I will say I'm an example of an outcome that could have went any possibility, any possibility. If you look on a news channel today, I am an outcome from a single mother household coming from a lesbian household. I was raised by my grandmother, who was also married to a woman, and she is my grandmother too, currently tatted on my arm. I am a product of a household where I was caught at an early age. I was caught at an early age and taught about accountability. And without that word, I would not be the man I am today. A lot of men that and a lot of boys that are men today, they were told that word, but they were never taught. In my music, we'll hear that I am somebody that could have turned out many different. I could have turned out too Pookie out on the street. My family call me Pookie, but I'm not a Pookie. If you understand what I'm saying. But for all the non-black listeners, a Pookie is basically somebody who stands out in the middle of the corner, for example, with their pants hanging low and they really ain't got nothing going for them. But I'm an outcome that could have turned out like that. But my message is, long as you teach the accountability, no matter no matter the circumstance for you as a woman, you will be holding yourself accountable as a woman. As long as you teach your son, and I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to say as best as I can because there's so much I can say. Like I said, I don't know what my message is, but as long as you hold that accountability as your foundation in your relationship with yourself and your child, not even your son, and your child, you did your job. You did your job. And that's what I want to also say, because that's what my mother did. That's what her mother did. That's what they did for me. They they held themselves accountable in the best way they could, dealing with a boy as women. And that's my message in the music. As a woman, for raising a boy, and for all my young men, hold yourself accountable. The best way you can hold yourself.
Yeah, and most women that go through that, like you said, like they did the best with what they had at the time. Like there's no rule book to how to be a parent, how to raise a child, whatever the case is. And throughout life, you're still learning as you go along. So, and there's many reasons why, a lot of us women tap into our masculinity a lot more. And a lot of times that has to just us not having that safe space from the men that we do deal with. But that's not always like a all the time thing. There are some with men that create those safe environments, but us as women too, we got to create safe environments for our men, our boys, and we have children. I don't have any kids, but I am a bonus mama too. So, um, and I'm in a relationship as well, and that's one of the things I always keep in mind is to have a safe space. For my man to feel safe, to feel vulnerable, to speak up, to tell me how he's feeling, or if he need anything from me. Um, and I'm willing to change. I'm willing to build. I'm willing for us to grow. So, we have to keep those conversations.
I want to leave men with this to also piggyback what you said, because that is also holding men accountable. That's also holding men accountable. I want to remind men women love a safe space. That's one thing. If you want your woman to stay open, and as a man, make sure you have a safe space, and that is protect. First of all, yes, you need to worry about protection. Because everything and anything can happen out this world. Once she understands that you have protection and that you are responsible with that protection, and I mean responsible, that's when you create a safe space. Going deeper into that safe space, men have to be firm, not aggressive, not not angry, not not even not even no, okay, a little frustrated. A little frustrated. Because frustrated and angry are two different. But go into what you're trying to say, asking first, what is it like when I'm in control? Stand firm on that. Say what you need to say and leave it. Say what you need to say and mean what you need to say and leave it at that. Because when you are going off the rails with it, you leave uncertainty for her because then she also can see that right now you are in an unstable mind. Luckily, I can see I have a person that is going to stick with me through and through and actually sit down with me and work with me on it. But I'm also learning that to talk firmly and not to go off the rails what I'm trying to say and try to get across what I'm trying to say without being hurtful and with the intention on being ooh, words is so ooh, it's not my best fortune. But with the intention on being respectful and being respected. That's the best way I can put it. That's the best way.
How do you maintain your mental health and protect your peace?
One talking to himself. Talking to me. I don't care who you are.
I do. I talk to myself too.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. The,
I do. Well, I talk to God too.
right. And really, people don't recognize talking to yourself is actually talking to God.
And I think manifestation is manifestation too.
It's manifestation.
So you got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you think.
It's all.
Yeah.
It's all. And talking to yourself is manifestation and talking to God. Because if you say God is, I tell you, I'm agnostic. So, this is the rare occasion that I'm using the word God. But God, like you say, God is everywhere. God is everything. So if God is everything, that means God is also a part of you. Literally. Literally, part of your bloodstream, part of your thought process, part of your everyday step. So if most people say you are God, I'm not going to put it down to that, but I am going to say that we are the essence of God. We are the essence. So with that, my bad. What was the question?
How do you maintain your mental health and protect your peace?
Again, talking to myself with the essence of recognizing that when I recognize that I am the essence of God and I start to talk to myself, that's where, like I said, man, we have to start asking ourselves, what is it like for us to be in control? And that's where I'm able to ask myself, what is it like to be in control? Because I'm only in control. And when it gets too much, that's where I notice, all right, I'm not going to call it a shutdown anymore. I want to call it a separation. I will separate myself, and I need to basically not talk for the whole day. I will, and you will probably see it, but I will make it known that hey, yeah, and it's going to be some separation. Give me a minute. It's going to be some time, and that's just literally time for me to even get the bad thoughts out. because I don't want to come back with that bad energy. I want to wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, love up on each other. It's all of that. I don't want negative. So I will separate myself from myself too. When I put myself into that mindset of separating myself from that stuff, that's when I'm talking to myself. I would talk to myself in third person. I wouldn't answer myself, but I would talk to myself like, hey man, you tripping. Come on, Jordan. Tripping. Like tripping. And that is a therapeutic part of me to literally self-reflect about what I'm doing, how it affect me, how it even affect the other person. And then if that's not also working, I'll go work with others. That's not also working. I got my CCW. I go down to the gun to pop a few cats. If that's not working, I smoke some weed.
And I also want to say, like, when it comes to men, I feel like I think it's best for y'all to create your own safe spaces amongst other men too. Like, I get it, I think we talked about this before when we was talking about how, like, the conversations that men have are really different and it's like surface level in a sense. Like, a lot of y'all don't get too deep. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all don't give each other that safe space to talk. Or, like y'all be like, oh, what's been going on, bro? Like, what's going on in your life? What's new? What's going on? And because women, we want to know all the tea, what's going on. But I know the conversation is different. But I also know, like, that trust level that you feel like you should have with your friends is it's a need. You know what I mean? And it goes without saying, but, like, I'm really a firm believer in everybody having safe spaces amongst other people to express what's going on, and you trust those people, to hear this.
And I will be the first to. I was always one of those men who would sit back and like, yeah, but that's men. But I want to be one of those men now. And I don't know if I'm the first, but I would like to be one of those men to say we do need to start going more into detail about this thing. We do. I get it if it's a happy situation and hey man, I just got a big $1 million contract deal. And it's like, all right, bet you want to leave it at that. You don't want to say, oh, by who company? Like, how'd you get it? All of that. I get that. But when it starts to come to those real conflictual moments in our life, those real hardships, we really do need to start speaking up to them. Like, for myself, any of my homies know me. They know they can call me. They know they can talk to me. I had my homies tell me stuff that I didn't even know and they thought I knew. And I was like, what? They were like, yeah, you didn't know. And I was like, nah. But then they'll come back and they'll be like, nah, I'm happy that I told you that now because you can, like, they also respect what I told them afterwards, even if they was wrong. Because then they will recognize, because they know I don't hang around little boys. So once they recognized when they were wrong, they was appreciative to say, "Damn, you right. A man ain't supposed to move like that. A man can admit when he's wrong too, and they will admit when they're wrong, and man not supposed to move." I'm proud of my homies. I'm proud of my homies today. I have homies that I can tell that when they met me, they seen the type of man I was, and they changed their ways because I seen it in them. I'm not saying they changed their ways because of me, but I seen they seen what I was on, and they seen the type of bullshit they was like, and I could see how much it wasn't making them happy, and they was like, man, they told themselves, man, this shit ain't good, man, yeah, and I'm about to go chill out. And now these dudes, they in the house chilling with their babies, they wife getting on their nerves, but they telling me, man, I better be the only dude she annoying. And I'm like, yeah, because when you have that camaraderie amongst men, that's where you start to build that family, like how you see on movies and stuff. Because just like they do it on movies, they Tyler Perry movies, they do it. We put that, and now that I'm talking about it, we put so much hate on Tyler Perry movies that we don't even recognize when these Tyler Perry movies, the homies be talking to each other about conflictual stuff. Why did I get married? Is a scene popping up when I think homie found out Janet Jackson was cheating. And all his homies came up to the house and was like, "Don't trip, don't do that, don't do that." And they actually saved him. And the next thing you know, he ended up getting money. And you got to think about that. If his homies didn't stop him from doing that, he wouldn't have got that money. As men, we gotta literally speak up to each other and be like, "Yo, like cheating on your girl, buddy. Like I ain't about to hang around with you." So, like, definitely, if they know their homie's girl is a good woman, and I got standards for it because there's levels to it. If you definitely know your homie has somebody good next to them and they choosing to cheat on them, why you hanging out with them?
Right.
Just that ain't your principle. As men, we need to start speaking up. We need to start speaking up more on conflictual problems. If it's a good thing and we don't want to go into detail, I totally get it. Because we want to celebrate about that thing. We don't want to talk about it too much. We want to celebrate. But when it comes to that conflictual stuff, and I mean it's not only cheating, any conflictual stuff, baby mama drama, bills. We need to talk as men about
Yeah. And even being a man in America,
it. Yeah.
especially a black man.
Ugh.
And yeah, talk about those things and how society changes and how we're trying to grow and change, while the society is going with yeah, those conversations are needed. Like you never know like how refreshing that would be to just, let it all out and just, let it go free. Release all of that burden. Release all of that. You don't have to take that on by yourself. And you're not taking it on by yourself, even though it may feel that way.
You want to know what's crazy? My therapist is my first black male therapist. I mean, he's a brother. He's a prestige brother, but he's a brother. And you know, brother, you know what I mean. But he will tell you some real stuff, and that's what I appreciate about him because he he's been through life too, and he can relate to what I'm relating to. When I talk to him about my stuff, he's literally like, nah. He literally gives me examples, euphemisms, anything, anything dealing with language. He gives me that because he understands definitely as a black man. He got to be like this. I want to say 40, but like, yeah, he prestige though.
My last question is when you think about legacy, what you want your children, the community, and your fans to remember most about you and what you brought to them.
Respect. Well, to the world, I want them to recognize when I do leave this planet that I try to give the best respect that I can. Respect is something that should be given. It shouldn't be earned. But respect is something that is always earned. Learn what different type of respect is because you got different types of and I want the world to understand when I leave that I tried my best to respect it as much as possible. And that's even for my kids too. All of that correlates with each other. Or of that is the example of what a human nature, and I'm about to come up with the most craziest compound word that anybody has ever heard. But what I really want to leave on this, what I want the world and my children and everybody around me to recognize that I wanted to learn, I wanted the world to learn, I, I want to leave this world knowing that it's still going to be understood and learned is that compassion, respect, And like I said, the craziest compound word I'm about to say. Human, humanistic boundaries. Humanistic boundaries. That goes into general about everything. Everything. And yes, I'm making it up because you have to make a definition here and there. If anybody want me to elaborate later on in life, I will. Humanistic boundaries. Humanistic boundaries is saying if you as a person just met me today and we are okay with each other and we become cordial and we become familiar with each other, and one day you say, hey, would you like to come over to my house? And I say yes. I come over to your house. I don't know any rule about your house. I don't know what you cook. I don't even know how your house smells. I come over to your house, and the first rule of the humanistic boundary, and this is human nature by anybody, even the cops do it, no matter how aggressive they do it. It's not. That's the first rule of humanistic boundaries, is that you not. Knocking is basically a symbol of saying, I respect you. I care about you. And I see you as an individual person who can also be harmed and also inflict harm. That's what that knot symbolizes as a humanistic boundary. Once you open that door and you explain, and mind you, that's a common sense. What I just explained, the first example, that's a common sense humanistic boundary. That's a universal thing that I don't care where you go. You can go to China, they do that. Everybody knows. Beyond that threshold is the nuanced humanistic boundary. And the nuanced humanistic boundary is right after I knock and I do the universal thing, and you open up that door and you let me know your rules of humanistic boundary. And what is your rules of humanistic boundaries? Is you want me to take off my shoes before I come into your house. I ain't stepping no dog food. Shit. I probably could live right down the street from you, and I probably haven't got that far. But the humanistic boundaries is that I must oblige to your requests to show respect. As a culture, as a human culture, we are forgetting to oblige to our humanistic boundaries. We are forgetting to oblige to our humanistic boundaries. And that is love one another. I don't care. It's in the Ten Commandments. I was born Christian, but like I said, I'm agnostic, but I recognize this as in the DNA. Love one another. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not lie. We are breaking all those humanistic boundaries. Those are literally boundaries that we are crossing and we are running over. That's what I want human race to understand that we need boundaries.
All right, so that wraps up everything. Thank you, Samontae, for being here today.
Thank you.
Giving us your insight. And yes, please let the people know again where they can support your music, listen to your music, and catch all the vibes.
Well, I hope I made sense because half the time, 99% of the time, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But you can find me at any platform again. Shout out to Adventure Music. Shout out to Bench Chili Bowl for sponsoring me. Shout out to again, Adventure Music is my distribution label. Bench Chili Bowl is my sponsor. Uh, you can find me on all streaming platforms. Anything you name it, anything that's being added today, best believe I'll be put onto that platform by tomorrow. But you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, anything like that at Samontae the Mini Moose. That is SAMOTAE the Mini Moose. SAMONTAE the Mini Moose.
Yes. And happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Ben, please share those mental safe spaces, create those mental safe spaces for you and your homies. Make sure you dedicate yourself in doing self-care and just know that like your mental health matters, you matter, your existence matters in this world. And do what's against society, what society wants you to do, and continue to be authentic. Thank you all for joining our session and tune in for the next one.
That was good.